I don't even need to say anything at the start of the video. I don't even need to say anything. Look at these numbies. Look at them. Look how big these numbies are. These are some good numbies, man. These are some good numbies. Before I talk about it a little bit, this video will not be long. I do want to say what's upcoming as far as the kind of content I'm planning on making. First of all, I'm also putting this in video format so you can keep me to it and call me a dumbass if I don't do anything. So there's that. But first of all, we did finish mythic testing most of the bosses today. So I'll be going over each boss, talking a bit about their mechanics, a little bit, but mainly talking about Arms versus Fury, what might be good, what might not be good, that kind of thing, per those bosses, because I find that fun. Then I will probably be doing a, just because Arms is looking fairly good, if I had to say, overall. I mean, obviously, with all of these buffs, you're like, Arms was not looking good, which you're correct, Arms was looking bad. But I'll probably be doing a Colossus and Slayer video as well, with the help of the Warbreaker Discord and TMY and those guys, because they are smart and they make good content over there. So look forward to that coming up. But talking about these buffs specifically and why they're needed is Warrior generally was performing very, very bad in the raid testing. I was honestly playing some suboptimal builds, wasn't playing like the craziest best stuff, right? Because we don't have the numbers. Because the problem is I'm more of like a gameplay guy where I'm not very smart. I let the smart people figure that shit out, and then I do the thing instead of like think of the thing. So I let the numbers guys do that. Axelmarian, that guy is a smart guy. But these numbers are very needed. Just kind of touching on them. Execute, like you say, oh, well, just 10%. You have to remember Ashen Juggernaut. Ashen Juggernaut increases, it goes up to 45% additional damage. That's 45% on top of this 10% base damage change. That's a lot of execute damage. Slam, this was needed. Basically, with how much damage the button was doing by itself, you could essentially, instead of even casting Slam, you might as well hit Rend, or you might as well hit Thunderclap or something like that to reapply your bleeds, just because it itself wasn't doing that much damage, so it was a bit lackluster. So it getting another 30% damage for Arms is very, very good. Cleave, once again, just raw getting buffed. Mortal Strike, 20%, dude, like 20% is a massive number. Dreadnought, a massive increase. Like, a lot of these bosses that we're dealing with have a lot of ads and a lot of AoE. So buffing things like Dreadnought, buffing Overpower, which also buffs Dreadnought. I don't know if this is meant to be like Overpower's buffed by 20%, so Dreadnought's buffed by 20%, or they just buff Dreadnought by 20% on top of Overpower, because every buff that Overpower gets is inherited to Dreadnought, which is why Dreadnought has been oppressive previously. In previous seasons, because there were so many Overpower modifiers that made Dreadnought really crazy good. But just buffing Arms AoE, like its general AoE, buffing its general AoE through Cleave, buffing its single target, buffing its filler. These are very, very, very big changes. And I would wager, even though I'm not a numbers guy, bare minimum 10 to 15%. Like, just it's like the spec got a 10 to 15% aura buff. Like, bare minimum, I'm assuming this is like 10 to 15% increased damage. I could be wrong, right? Obviously, I'm just spewing some shit out, but definitely this is very, very big, and we needed it. We definitely need it. We're underperforming. Fury is also interesting, where they're finally starting to rebuff Odin's Fury a bit. One of the important things about rebuffing Odin's Fury is through our talent calculator. They removed Titan's Torment, or they changed it. So you see here, currently, casting Avatar casts Odin's Fury. So you're getting approximately 33% more Odin's Fury casts by just having this talent, which made it way, way too strong. Because within an 8-second burst window, you had 2 Odin's Fury, one from Avatar, because it casted it at full strength, and then your normal cast, which is also giving you Avatar. Very, very strong, very potent, and led to one of the reasons why we got so many nerfs in terms of our like AoE potential. So Odin's Fury is finally getting tuned back up. It probably needs a little more than this to be worth like putting those talent points in. But this is very, very needed. Rampage is a flat 20%. Like, it's like these are just buttons you press. Like in single target, you only press these buttons: Bloodthirst, Rampage, Raging. Like, you could even see this as almost like a Fury 20% aura buff, which it's not. It's less than that, right? It's not 20% flat for Fury. But 20% is a big goddamn number. So this also, and they did mean to say that it does buff Bloodbath and Crushing Blow as well. So honestly, if they're close, this might push. I would honestly say this might actually push Reckless Abandon up further than it was before. Because one of the problems of playing with anger management, especially, is it desyncs a lot of your cooldowns. It's okay for playing anger management with Mountain Thane, because your avatar and your avatar and your Ravager were synced together, so pressing those buttons together actually felt decent enough. But I still like having pretty set in stone cooldown windows. So this is just very, very good for us. As well as, because of the amount of AoE that we're dealing with, this Bloodbath bleed currently does cleave. And when we look at a boss like, let's say, Rick Reaver, where if we cool down on pull, and then cool down, then we'll have cooldowns back up for the second set of casks in that fight, which when I post a video, we'll go over it. We might be able to do something like that, and we'll have our AoE cooldowns, and this definitely, this is good. This is very, very good. There's a lot of, obviously it's just plus damage. It doesn't really change some like systemic issues of like kind of how the class plays, or how some people would like the class to play. But seeing how much warriors were underperforming and instantly getting a buff like this on the PTR after mythic testing is, the dooming was happening. The dooming was happening. And now this is looking way, way better on all fronts. So very excited to see this. Obviously, this is just me talking over a single Wildhead post posted by Squishy, and also in the Warrior Discord posted by Arkham Tyros. We're talking about it in there. So thanks to those guys for data mining and getting us this info fast as possible. But yeah, that's it. I'm not going to drag the video on any longer. TLDR, great, awesome. We needed some buffs. These are big numbers to look at. Like, this is really good. I like seeing this. And on top of that, going into once again, I'll be making per boss videos, just kind of talking about them from the mythic difficulty standpoint, and then we'll be talking about the arms versus Fury, and I'll try and make some arms guides, yada yada. The time of content is coming upon us. Start of a new season, new PTR cycle, always testing. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. I'll probably be recording stuff over this weekend. I'll be more focused on that. I just need to get my thoughts together on how I want to talk about these bosses and what we will probably be playing during them. But yeah, okay, that's it. Bye-bye.